Hey you guys, today we are going to do vegetable fried rice, and then I'm going to do a second order with chicken. So I'm going to eat the vegetables, my husband's going to eat the chicken. So let's get right to it. I was with my friend this weekend and we were doing this little wine tasting, and we went to all these different restaurants, and we were at Drunken Fish, and they had this delicious, delicious vegetable fried rice. So it inspired me to do it myself. So let's get right to it and talk about the ingredients. What I'm going to use today is a variety of vegetables. I'm going to use pre-cut portobello mushrooms. I cut my zucchini very, very small. I'm going to use sprouts. I'm going to use peppers. I cut those really, really small. Onions, garlic, snow peas, green onions, and pre-cut cabbage. And I'm also going to throw a few eggs in there as well. I'm also going to use rice. I'm using brown rice because I told you I'm on a healthy kick, so I'm trying to do better with my life. Basically you get the best results when you cook this rice the night before and it's cold. So this is pre-cooked cold brown rice and chicken. I left one breast here because I want to show you guys how I cut up my chicken. I am going to cut up my chicken in very, very small, thin pieces. So I wanted to show you guys how I'm going to do that. What you're going to do is, I'm going to scoot that chicken out the way. You take your breast and you take your hand, and you're going to place the hand right over the chicken. And then basically you are going to cut in extremely thin slices. So from there, after you cut your chicken up in thin slices, you're going to take it and then you're going to cut it the opposite way. So this will give you really thin sliced chicken. The Chinese restaurants I eat at usually have thin sliced chicken, so that's basically the size of the chicken you're going to have. So after the chicken is cut, I'm going to actually go ahead and season that. I'm going to season it with a little Lori seasoning salt, black pepper, garlic powder, and parsley, and Chinese 5 spice. You don't need too much seasoning because you're going to mix it with the rice. So after that, I'm just going to mix all my seasoning up on the chicken pieces. And we'll go ahead and start cooking. Okay, so I have 2 skillets, and they are preheated with basically just coated with olive oil. Chinese fried rice is a ingredient based meal. So you basically, what I mean by that is you basically have to cook ingredient by ingredient. So I'm going to be doing certain ingredients at one time. I'm going to be cooking my fried rice in this pan, and while that's cooking, I am going to be cooking my chicken in a different pan. So for my fried rice, I'm going to add my onions, and I'm going to let that cook for a few minutes until the onions become clear in color. While at the same time, I am going to go ahead and add my chicken and let that brown up. Essentially, if I was making one portion, I could actually add the chicken to the same pan, but I'm going to do different portions, so I'm doing it separate. So I'll let that cook up and show you what that looks like. Okay, so my onions are pretty clear. Next, I am going to add in a couple tablespoons of garlic. I like garlic, so I'm going to add a couple tablespoons, and I'm going to add my mushrooms. So I'll let that cook down for a few minutes, and I will show you what the next ingredient is. Okay, so now I'm going to add my colored peppers and let those just cook down, not too long, probably a minute or so. And while that's cooking, I am going to check on my chicken. As you see, it is getting done. This will be perfect to add in the rice. Okay. So my peppers are cooked down a little bit, and now I'm going to add my zucchini. This is 1 zucchini. And you want everything cut up really small because you're mixing it with rice, and rice is, you know, has a small texture. It's all about the texture, so you want to make sure that everything is cut up very, very, very small. I'll let that cook up not too long because you don't want your zucchini to get mushy. Okay, now I'm going to add my cabbage and let this cook down. While that, I'm going to check on my chicken. And you're going to know your chicken is going to be done when, like, you can see there's no more pink in color. And you don't want to overcook your chicken because you want, you know, tender chicken in your rice. So, as you can see, the pink is pretty much gone. So I'm going to cook it for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to cut it off. Okay, so now I am going to add my sugar snap peas. I'll let these cook down for a few minutes. Again, this is a crunchy, crispy vegetable, so I don't want to cook it too long. And as you can see, this vegetable mixture is looking delicious. So I'm getting hungry. So this is about 4 eggs. I'm making a pretty large portion because I got a couple friends coming over. So 4 eggs. This is the last ingredient I'm going to mix before I put in my rice. So I'm going to basically mix these eggs up. And since my pan is pretty full, I'm going to take half my mixture out and do it separately. Okay, so I'm pretty much at a stopping point before I add in my rice. As you can see, my mixture, you can see that the eggs look like they're already scrambled up in there. And you can see the veggies still have a crunch to them. This is a pretty mix. It looks good enough to eat by itself, but we're not done yet. So I'm going to take half this mixture out so I can add my rice in the same pan. Typically, fried rice is done in a wok. And a wok only works best with a gas oven. And I don't have a gas oven, so I'm not using a wok. So I'm just going to add the heat effect, I'm going to turn my temperature up a little bit. Now I'm going to add in my fried rice. Okay, so to give it the fried rice effect, I have to add in some oil. So I'm adding in extra virgin olive oil. And I'm thoroughly mixing it. And my final effect, I'm going to add the low sodium soy sauce. You can use regular soy sauce if you want. And I'm pretty much going to add the rest of this. So I'll mix that up, let that cook for a little bit. For that final flavor, I'm going to give it a little bit more of the Chinese 5 spice. Not too much because it can be overpowering, but just to give it that nice flavor, I'm just going to give it that Chinese 5 spice. And I told you I'm making 2 versions, so if this was the vegetable version, I'd be finished. But since I'm making a portion of veggies, I'm also going to do a portion of chicken. So my cooked chicken, I am just going to add into the mixture. And let that cook up and mix with it. Okay, so the very, very final effect, I am going to add in bean sprouts. And green onions. And I add this in at the very last ingredient. I'm going to turn my heat off, and I'm basically just going to mix these ingredients and allow the heat of the rice to cook these ingredients. So there you have it, chicken fried rice. So I hope you guys enjoy. You can make any variation. You can add in shrimp, crab meat, whatever you like. But I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. Bye.